The secret Jesus whispered before he died. There are words that were never meant to leave that room. They say the Last Supper was about bread and wine, about betrayal, about a kiss in the garden and soldiers with torches. But what if I told you that before Judas left that table, before the rooster crowed, before the crown of thorns ever touched his head, Jesus said something so dangerous, so forbidden, that it was erased from almost every Bible you've ever read. Not erased by time, not lost in translation, erased on purpose. Because what he said that night wasn't just prophecy. It wasn't just theology. It was a doorway, a key, a truth so shattering that if the world truly understood it, the entire structure of religious authority would collapse. And only one place on earth still keeps it. Hidden, protected, locked away in the mountains of Ethiopia, in the oldest church in Christendom, where monks guard ancient manuscripts written in a language most scholars refuse to translate. This is not conspiracy. This is not theory. This is what they found, and this is what it says. If you feel a chill right now, good. That means your spirit recognizes the gravity of what you're about to hear. Hit that like button, subscribe, because after this episode, you'll never read the Gospels the same way again. Let's go back, not to Jerusalem, not to Rome, but to the edge of the world, to the highlands of Ethiopia, where Christianity didn't arrive as conquest, it arrived as refuge. In the 4th century, while Europe was still burning heretics and rewriting scripture to fit empire, Ethiopia was already worshiping in secret, already translating texts the Roman Church had banned, already preserving what the councils tried to destroy. One of those texts, the Book of the Cock, also called the Questions of Bartholomew, also called the Apocalypse of the Apostles, depending on who you ask and where you ask it. This book doesn't exist in your Bible. It's not in the King James, not in the NIV, not in the Catholic canon, but it's in Ethiopia, and it's older than almost anything Rome ever approved. The story goes like this. After the Last Supper, after Jesus washed their feet, after he broke the bread and said, "This is my body," the disciples asked him a question they had been too afraid to ask before. Bartholomew stepped forward, his voice shaking, and he said, "Lord, tell us about the beginning. Tell us what was before the Word. Tell us about the power that made you." And Jesus did not smile, did not deflect. He looked at them and he began to speak. But here's where it gets strange, because what he said next was not what the church teaches. It wasn't the Genesis story. It wasn't, "In the beginning, God created." He spoke about something else, something deeper, something older than creation itself. He spoke about the silence before the Word, the depth before the light. He spoke about a realm where even the Father had not yet spoken, a place of my pure potential, pure mystery, the abyss of the unmanifest. And he said this, "Before all things, there was the invisible one, the one who cannot be named, the one who is not God as you know God, the one who dwells in eternal rest." Stop. Read that again. Jesus, according to this text, said there is something beyond God, something before the God of Genesis, a force, a presence, an absolutor that does not create, does not command, does not judge. It simply is. And from that silence, not by will, not by word, but by emanation, by overflow, by the breath of eternity, exhaling, the first being emerged. Not Yahweh, not the Father, but something the text calls the Mother, the womb of all, the depth. In Gnostic tradition, she is called Sophia. In Kabbalah, she is called Bina. In the Ethiopian text, she is simply called the first thought, and from her, not from the invisible one, the worlds began. Now, before you close this video, before you say, "This is heresy," ask yourself, why does this scare you? Is it because it contradicts what you were taught? Or is it because it resonates with something you already felt? Pause the video, let that sit, then come back, because we're about to go deeper. Jesus continues. He tells Bartholomew and the others, "The world you see was not made by the highest. It was made by a power that fell, a power that thought itself God." He's talking about the Demiurge, the architect, the false creator. In Gnostic cosmology, this being is called Yaldabaoth. In some texts, he's called Samael. In others, Saklas, the fool. He is not evil by nature. He is ignorant. He is blind. He emerged from Sophia's grief, from her fall, from her attempt to create without the blessing of the invisible one. And when he opened his eyes, he saw nothing above him, no mother, no father, no light. And he declared, "I am God. There is no other." And he made this world, this prison, this labyrinth of flesh and time and death. And he called it good. But Jesus, standing there in that upper room, told his disciples the truth. "You are not of this world. You are from above. You are sparks of the eternal flame, trapped in clay." And that's why he came, not to die for sin, not to appease an angry God, but to wake you up, to remind you who you really are. If you're still here, you're ready. Hit that subscribe button. This channel exists for people like you, the ones who feel the truth beneath the surface. Let's keep going. Now here's the part they don't want you to know, the part that got this teaching buried, banned, burned. Jesus said, "The monad did not create the world." The monad, the one, the absolute, the invisible Father beyond all fathers. He did not make this place. Because creation, by its very nature, is separation. It is division. It is the fall from unity into multiplicity. The monad does not divide. The monad does not fall. The monad simply is. All creation is the result of something leaving the monad, something ompo descending, something forgetting, and that includes you. You are not here because God wanted you here. You are here because a part of the divine fell asleep. And the material world is the dream it's having. Jesus came to end the dream, to break the spell, to shatter the illusion. Not with violence, not with law, but with gnosis, with knowing. He whispered it to them that night. He whispered it in parables. He hid it in symbols. Because if he had said it plainly, if he had stood in the temple and shouted, "Your God is not the highest. This world is a cage. You are divine prisoners," they would have killed him on the spot. Oh wait, they did. But not before he planted the seed. Not before he gave them the key. Not before he said, "The kingdom of heaven is within you." Not up there, not in the sky, not after death. Within. Because that's where the monad is. That's where the light is. That's where you've always been. You just forgot. And this world, this beautiful, broken, bloody world, was designed to make you forget. Every distraction, every desire, every fear, every system of control. All of it exists to keep you asleep. But you're waking up now, aren't you? You feel it. The tremor in your chest, the whisper in your mind, the knowing that something is off. That's not doubt. That's recognition. That's your soul remembering what it knew before it was born. This is the revelation. This is the secret Jesus spoke in that room. And it's still true today. Now let's talk about why this matters. Why this isn't just ancient philosophy. Why this teaching is not only spiritual, but practical, financial, life-changing. Because here's the truth they don't teach in church. When you realize you are not a sinner begging for mercy, but a divine being temporarily confined, everything changes. You stop living in fear. You stop waiting for permission. You stop giving your power away to institutions, to leaders, to systems that profit from your ignorance. You start creating. You start manifesting. You start walking in the authority that was always yours. This is not motivational fluff. This is spiritual law that Jesus didn't say, "Ask and maybe you'll receive." He said, "Ask and it is given." Not because God is generous, but because you are God in disguise. And when you remember that, when you align with the monad within, the universe bends, money flows, doors open, enemies fall, health restores. Not because you prayed harder, but because you woke up. This is the gospel they banned, the one that makes you sovereign, the one that makes you free. And that's why it was hidden. Because a free soul cannot be controlled. A soul that knows its divinity cannot be taxed, manipulated, or enslaved. And the powers of this world, both seen and unseen, depend on your ignorance. So stay ignorant, they said. Stay small. Stay guilty. Stay afraid. But you didn't. You're here. You're listening. You're awake. One more time, like this video, subscribe, share it with someone who's ready, because this is just the beginning. Let's return to Ethiopia, to the monks, to the Book of the Cock. After Jesus finishes speaking, after he reveals the truth about the monad, the fall, the false creator, Bartholomew falls to his knees, weeping. Not in despair, in relief. Because finally, someone told him the truth. And Jesus places his hand on Bartholomew's head and says, "You have understood. Now go and tell no one until the time is right." The time is right now, because the world is waking up. The veils are thinning. The lies are crumbling. People everywhere are beginning to ask, what if everything I was taught was a distortion? What if the God I feared is not the true God? What if I am more than I was told? And the answer, echoing from that upper room, preserved in the highlands of Africa, whispered by mystics and martyrs for 2,000 years, is about yes. Yes, you are more. Yes, the monad is within you. Yes, this world is not your home. But you are not here by accident. You are here mad on assignment. To remember, to awaken, to become the light in the darkness. Not someday, not in heaven. Now. This is the gospel of liberation, the gospel of the inner Christ, the gospel that doesn't need a priest, a building, or a denomination. It only needs us awake, alive, aligned. And when you step into that truth, when you stop begging and start commanding, when you stop believing you're broken and start knowing you're whole, the kingdom comes. Not in the sky, right here, right now, in your bank account, in your relationships, in your health, in your peace. This is what they didn't want you to know. This is the teaching that was too dangerous to survive. But it did survive. In whispers, in scrolls, in the hearts of those who refused to forget. And now it's in you. So what will you do with it? Will you go back to sleep? Will you pretend you didn't hear this? Or will you rise? Will you step into the revelation? Will you claim your divinity? Will you live like the eternal being you've always been? Because that's the choice. That's always been the choice. And Jesus, standing in that room, knowing what was coming, knowing he would be beaten, mocked, killed, looked at his disciples and smiled, not because he was brave, but because he knew. Death is not the end. The body is not you, and the monad never left. It's still here, still whispering, still calling you home. This is the secret they tried to bury. This is the truth preserved in Ethiopia. This is the gospel that will set you free. Jesus never said the monad created the world. He said the monad created you, and you are here to remember that. Now go. Live like it's true, because it is. If this touched you, don't keep it to yourself. Like, subscribe, and get ready, because next week, we're uncovering the one prayer Jesus taught in secret that was never written in any Bible. You won't want to miss it. Until then, stay awake, stay sovereign, and remember, you are always more than they told you. The light was never outside you. It was always within, and it's time to let it burn.